okay? We're just gonna ignore the regrowth, okay? I've seen all the booktube baddies film this video. Jeff created a booktube book tag and everyone's doing it and I want to do it, so we're doing it today. Anyone that said to me that filming would be easy, like creating content would be easy with a child, lied to me. I want a refund. I want a refund from your advice. Plain and white background today. We're not doing the books in the background because I'm in the living room. Let's get going. Let's do this. Let's try and get this done, bitch. A book that you tell people is your favorite. Now, I picked multiple books for this question because I couldn't just pick one, bitch. There's too many. There's too many of my favorites that I tell people are my favorites, especially if they're not romance readers or readers in general. But the first one has to be After. Now, if I was to read this for the first time right now, actually no, I probably would be obsessed with it. This is what got me into reading. This is what made me start bookstagramming, booktubing. If you've been here since After, you know, bitch. Like 2019, 24-year-old me was in this book. I've never found a book that has given me the same feeling. It's toxic, it's horrendous, but in the best way possible, and nothing can replace this feeling and this book for me. This will forever be my favorite, and I always suggest this to people that don't read romance or don't read in general because it's such an easy book to read and it's full of all the toxic bullshit, goodness, drama that keeps you hooked. It's the perfect gateway book into romance, okay? Is it the best? No. Is it my favorite? Yes. My second favorite is Balance. You guys know Balance, the whole series, not just the first book, is one of my favorite books of all time. I know it's taboo. I know it's not for everyone, but if you're game enough to read it, I can promise you now that you'll fall in love with it. This gave me a feeling similar to After, but not exactly the same as After. And again, I have been searching for this same like euphoric feeling that this series gave me, and I haven't been able to find it. It's just utter perfection, taboo, realness, bitch. No one does taboo like Lucia. She blurs the lines, bitch, and she disintegrates those boundaries. There's no boundaries with her taboo, and that's what makes this book so perfect. So then we have a third book because those two books are a part of a series. This one's a standalone, Hush Hush, also by Lucia Franco. Nothing has been able to replace this. It's about a young 21-year-old in New York City who becomes an escort, and there's one rule when you become an escort: do not fall in love with your clients. And this bitch has the audacity to fall in love with her 52-year-old client. So it's taboo, massive age gap. It's smutty. It's emotional, it's good. It reminds me of Pretty Woman, but like a modern day version, and that's my favorite movie of all time. Hush Hush, love it. A book that is your guilty pleasure. I didn't even have to think twice about this one. Credence. Credence, darling. I know so many people don't like this because they're like, what the fuck? But this is just, oh. It's a guilty pleasure because it's dirty, it's forbidden, it's so far from my reality. I would never, ever, ever condone this, but in the fictional world, anything goes. A book everyone loves, but you didn't. Darling, Venom. I don't have a physical copy of it because I got rid of it as soon as I tried to read it and DNF'd it. This just, I don't know. I did not love this. This was recommended to me. At the time that this was recommended to me, I feel like everyone was reading it and it just did not do it for me, bitch. I don't know, it bored me. I didn't feel like the connection, the chemistry, the angst, anything between the two main characters, the love interest. Like it was sad, it was depressing. I just didn't get what I wanted from it. I know it's super popular. I know so many people love it. I just don't. A book you read the fastest. Now, I'm not a one-sitting girly, okay? It usually takes me a couple of days to read books, but this book particular took me less than 24 hours. I read it in one sitting, and I remember just devouring it and loving it and really enjoying it. It's not my favorite book from this author now, but it is one of their most popular books, and that is It Ends With Us. I've got 2 copies. This is the special edition that's available in Australia, and then the original copy, so I wanted to show both of them. Yes, I loved It Ends With Us. I specifically remember the day, I think it was like a Sunday or something, and I sat in bed, I got on Instagram stories, and I was like, I'm going in, bitch. And by the end of it, I was crying. I didn't cry when I'd read it. I kind of cried after. And you just let all the words that you just read sink into your brain, and then you just feel all the emotions. That's when the tears came for me. It ends with us. A book that deserves more hype. I've got 2 series here. The first one is this trilogy, Stay With Me by 𝐒𝐈𝐍𝐊𝐒. This gets like not enough hype. It's so good. I don't know how anyone can dislike this. It's toxic, it's dark. We've got a female heroine who's in like a psych ward, boarding school situation. There's my cat. Who struggles with mental illness and mental health issues, and she falls in love with Ollie, who is this like magnificent, perfect man, but he's also got his own issues. There's just twists, turns. One of the drug use scenes in here, it feels like you're taking Molly when you read it. Like if you have ever taken drugs and you read this scene, you're like, accurate. That's what it feels like. Nicole is so underrated. I've got another one of her books that I'm going to mention in this video. The Group Trilogy. Like, why is this not so hyped up? I feel like this is the best that I've read from Kennedy so far. It is so powerful, so angsty, so much more than a romance. Like, I loved this so much. It's about an interracial relationship, brother's best friend. The hero, Grip, he's a rapper. The heroine is his manager. Like, there's so much in this book and I don't see it enough. I don't see it enough. Like, this is what made me fall in love with Kennedy. Next up, we've got a book that is becoming a TV show or movie. I could be wrong about this, but I fucking swear that Netflix has picked this up. Or someone's picked this up, I swear. I swear they're making The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo into a movie. I could be wrong, but I swear I saw that somewhere. If I'm wrong, oh well. If I'm not, fucking yeah. Because I love this book. This is my favorite book from Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love Evelyn. Look, actually, no, I don't like Evelyn. But I understood Evelyn. Okay? And I really loved this book. I read it so fast. I annotated it. And I never annotate books, really. Evelyn reminds me of Marilyn Monroe. And I love that bitch. You know what I mean? So, I hope this becomes a movie. If it doesn't, I'll be devastated, but I swear I saw it somewhere. Next up, we have a book that you've reread the most. I have 3, and they're all from 𝐒𝐂 Riley. Yes, bitch! Cora's Mafia World is one of my favorite Mafia Worlds I've ever read. I've never been so invested and in love with a series like this. I love all the books I'm talking about today, but this one just holds a place in my heart. And these 3 are my favorite books out of this Mafia world that I've reread countless of times. So we've got Twisted Emotions. I read this yearly. Sometimes I read it twice a year. I love Kiara and Nino. They're my favorite Mafia couple. This book is so beautiful. It's just amazing. Then we have Sweet Temptation, which is one of her standalones. It's age gap, and this was the first book that I read from Cora, and this is a great book to read before you dive into her entire world and both her series, well, all of her series. I suggest you read this first. And then we have Bound by Honor, which is the first book in the first series, the Born in Blood. And I don't know, it's just nostalgic every time I reread this, man. It gives me all the feels. I remember exactly where I was sitting, what day it was. That whole weekend, I just binged all her books, and yeah, I just read these books all the time, like every year, maybe a couple times a year. I'm in a reading slump. These always get me back into reading again. A book from a genre that you don't typically read, The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This is a thriller. I cannot wait to film my thriller video. You have no idea, bitch. I loved this book so much. I love thrillers now. And I can't wait to read more of them, especially if you add a little bit of spice and there's some romance in them. But this really shocked me because, you know, I was looking for thrillers, giving them a go, but I just didn't realize that this was gonna become one of my favorite books of all time. It gets your heart thumping, bitch. It gets your heart thumping. A book that deserves all the hype, Archer's Voice, baby. I read this because of TikTok ages ago and was really surprised by it. I didn't realize it was going to give me heart and vagina flutters, bitch. I didn't know that this book was going to take it there. Best friends to lovers you'll ever fucking read. It's a vanilla romance with a little bit of spice, bitch. And I'm here for that. I'm here for vanilla with spice. Okay? I don't need down and dirty smut all the time. Vanilla with spice hits different, alright? Archer is one of my favorite book boyfriends as well, and I just fucking love this book. Okay, so this was totally worth all the freaking hype. A book you usually recommend when someone asks for a recommendation. If someone asks me what should I read, I always say Verity by 𝐒𝐂𝐂, even if they're not a reader, because it's a suspense, like a thriller, bitch, that gets your heart pumping, but it has a good amount of romance, and the twist is really good, and it's just one of my favorite books, and I feel like not many people dislike this book. I feel like this is the best that 𝐒𝐂𝐂's ever written. I think it's a universal read that everyone can enjoy. A book that has your favorite characters. Well, this is a series, and I'm sure some of you know that this is going to be coming. The Elite Kings Club by Amo Jones. I love this series. I don't care what anyone says. I know it's not for everyone. Amo's books are not for everyone, okay? But if you love dark romance, you love twisted shit, you love to read books that really fuck with your head and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Then Amo is for you. And these characters, I love. Tilly is one of my favorite female characters I've ever read. And Brantley is one of my favorite heroes I've ever read because he's just fucked up and he's petrifying. And I'm like, am I going to get myself off right now, or am I going to piss my pants because I'm scared? They're the vibes that you get from him. Such a good series. It's a mind fuck. It's confusing, and I always tell people to push through the first couple of books, all right? Because they just get better and better and better. I miss them. They deserve a reread. And Amo is going to be writing the next generation of this series, and I'm nervous about it, but I'm also intrigued. I feel like she'll be able to pull it off. A lot of the time, I don't like next gen, but I feel like she'll be able to do it because she'll make it different, baby. It won't be like stock standard because it's Amo, babe. Like, it's never stock standard with Amo. A book you wish you could live in, Hollow Heathens by Nicole Fiorina. Oh my God, Bone Island comes out soon and I'm so excited. I cannot wait for Bone Island. I've been waiting years, bitch, years. Anyway, Hollow Heathens, if you love witchy shit, bitch, I'm a witch at heart, okay? I love that shit. I always have, always will. You know, I'll be riding my broomstick in the next life, you know what I'm saying? If you love witchy paranormal stuff, Hollow Heathens is totally for you. As I was saying, Hollow Heathens, witchy, paranormal, perfection. This world is insane. Nicole did such a good job like building this world. It fully just transported me into this world. I felt like a character. Julian and Felon, their love is incredible. The world building, man, I just can't get over it. So unique. It's like Vampire Diaries crossed with like Gilmore Girls. But they're all witches and there's like covens and shit. Like, baby, light my fire, okay? Light my fucking fire, yes. This is everything. This is signed to this book. So it's very special and I cannot fucking wait. I cannot wait for Bone Island. It's coming. It's coming soon. A book you thought you would hate but you ended up loving. I actually don't have a book for this because if I think I'm gonna hate a book, I don't read it. Like, I don't read it. A book that made me cry, 1,000 Boy Kisses. I don't cry reading books, okay? But 1,000 Boy Kisses, that fucked me up, man. I don't know if I still have the Instagram stories. If I do, I'll plug them here so you guys can see how much of a mess I was when I read this back in 2020. Oh, man, it's YA, and I don't read YA, but I suggest this book. Like, this is just a beautiful, heartbreaking story that I reckon everyone will enjoy and love, and the cover is so pretty. So we've got a book you wish you could read for the first time again. The Tattooist of Auschwitz. Auschwitz. I can never say it. I'm sorry, but this, I read it at the start of the year. You guys have heard me ramble about it. So fucking good. And if I could read this again for the first time, I would pay someone if I could. If I could erase my memory just so I could fucking read this again, I would pay someone to do it. Like, I loved this book so much. You guys, my life is so different now. You have no idea. Like, I used to just get up, go to work, come home, read, you know, and then on my days off, I'd film, chat to you guys on Instagram, and now it's just so not that. It's wild having a baby. Look how cute he is though. Don't you just want to pop his fucking head off? Same. Okay, same. I have cute aggression, so I'm just like, man, I've never seen anything cuter. And I'm not biased, okay? Come on now, this baby is delicious, okay? I'm not just saying that because he's mine and I birthed him and I grew him and it's my DNA. Look at him. Look at him. Boom. Kisses. So that is it for the book tag from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see next. I've got a couple of videos planned. Just kind of need to get a babysitter to get them filmed because this is a bit difficult, okay? It's just a bit difficult to film with a child, as you guys can see. And you could probably hear the entire video, the baby noises in the background. But anyway, thanks so much for watching and supporting me. It honestly means a lot. Especially now that my maternity leave payments have ended. I do appreciate every fucking view. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.